I'd like to show you a presentation now in the style that I personally use whenever I'm doing a presentation for a group. It's a little bit more of a motivational style, actually, and it goes something like this. Well, here, first of all, would you be so kind, since I put you to work before,
Sure.
Would you figure out which one of those keys it is that opens the lock, because I forgot to mark it. Have you ever been somewhere talking to somebody you've never talked to before, and this little voice inside you says, I don't trust this sucker. He's going to try to take advantage of me, and later it turns out he did. How did you know? Was there guilt written across his face? Yes. As a matter of fact, there was. You see, here's what happened. Your subconscious mind, that part of you that's recording every frame of your life and plays it back just before you die, okay? Your subconscious mind has also been analyzing that person. It's been looking at his micro-expressions, his neurolinguistics, his body language, listening to his vocabulary, intonation, inflection, style, carriage, dress. Everything about this person makes a pattern. And your subconscious mind took that pattern and ran it frame by frame against your life's experience until it came up with a match. Uh-oh, used car dealer, warning, danger, Will Robinson, danger. And it says, don't trust this guy. That's how you knew. Okay? The brain is a marvelous pattern matching device. And so therefore, when it finds that pattern, makes the match, don't trust the guy.
I didn't find a match.
Yeah, it's because, I'm sorry. I got it here. Would you drop all the keys back in here, please?
Certainly.
Okay. And try that one. I think you'll find that will work, which is more than I can say for my brother-in-law. It did. Good. Key goes back there. Right in there with the others. Lock goes in there with the others. And you accompany me here. How you doing?
Good.
All right. And your name is?
Jack.
Jack. All right. Jack, you are the fellow who tried. Oh, here, let's put you over here on this side if you don't mind. I'm more comfortable with folks on that side for whatever reason. Good. Jack, you're the fellow who looked at all those keys. You tried a whole bunch of them. How many did you try that didn't work?
6.
6. And you had no luck with them at all.
None of them opened it.
And then I gave you the 7th one, and the 7th one opened it.
Perfectly.
Do you think you could tell that key apart from all the others if you were to look?
No.
Well, you see, now there's my point. You see, exactly as people all have pretty much the same face, eyes in the same place, nose, and so on. Keys are exactly the same. If you look down in there at those keys, you will see that they all look pretty much the same, but one of them is cut just a little differently from all the rest. And that's the one that you are going to pick out. You see, because your subconscious mind knows. There are 6 keys which will not unlock the lock. One of them will. And I know that you will be able to choose the one that does. How do I know? Because I believe in the incredible power of the subconscious mind. Really, look, here. Wait a minute. Let your mind relax without choosing one because it's closer or further or on top or underneath or for any reason whatsoever. But with your left hand, reach out and take one key. With your right hand, reach out and take the lock. Now put the key in the lock, but don't turn it just yet. Hold it in a manner that will allow everyone to see. Because I want to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. The next time you're speaking to someone and that person says, I've got a hunch, and I know I'm right, but I can't prove it. Or you're speaking to someone and you say, well, how did you get to point Z from point A? And he said, I can't give you B, C, D, E, F, G, and all the way through. All I know is I was here and now I'm here and it works. Or you're walking through a dark parking lot some evening and the hair goes up on the back of your neck and you kind of sense that you're in danger, and then you're tempted to discount it and say, oh, that's silly. The next time you're inclined to doubt your intuition, I want you to remember this moment. Yeah! He got it. It's open. Give this man a hand. Thank you very much. All right, thank you. This is a neat piece. This is fun. For one thing, the lock is too small to be gimmicked. I mean, come on, it's a little luggage lock. Magicians love lock things. I think one of the reasons is, especially also for a mentalist, the lock is a kind of a metaphor, isn't it? For a locked mind, a closed mind. And when we can open it, we achieve access. Well, this is neat because it's very, very easy to do. It does not use a trick lock. It does not use a trick key. You do not switch keys. You switch locks. How else? This is great. Let me show you. You see, the other lock, whoa, okay. The other lock stayed in the glass. I'll tell you how to keep it there in a second. This is the lock, first of all. Wait a minute. Let's trade this just for a second. This lock. You go into your Ace hardware store. Must be Ace hardware. Ace is a place with a friendly hardware person, or helpful hardware person. Why do you go to Ace? They have a company policy that if they sell a lock that has their name on it, they also sell the keys. Now you can get a small luggage lock in any number of stores and then pay the dickens trying to find keys to fit it to make more of. Okay? But if you go into Ace hardware store, they will have the lock and they will have the keys. All right? That's the only commercial for non-Lee Earl products you'll hear tonight. Now, the next thing you must do is get a whole bunch more keys made. So after you get that one, it usually comes with 2 keys, and so you have several more keys made. In this case, I have a total of 6 keys made for that lock. Then that lock is locked, and it goes in my pocket. And we won't see it again. The 6 keys go in the glass. Now you buy another lock. Oh, you take one of the keys. Well, I mean, you're in the Ace hardware store anyway. So after the guy cuts the first key, take it, the one key, and go back to the rack full of locks and hold the key up to all the others until you find a duplicate lock that has a key that to you is obviously different. I mean, you can spot it a mile away. In this case, this one has a little cut in the end where all the others have a little bump in the end. So I can spot it. I need to. Then you buy that lock, and that's the one that this one key will fit. Okay? That's the one that goes in there with all those keys. None of those keys will fit that lock. Those keys fit this lock. All right? Finally, the one key that does open it goes on your key ring. Key ring is important. I'll explain that in just a second. But first, whatever you do, don't go up to someone and say, now, I want you to make sure that none of these keys opens this lock. Because he's going to do an Uri Geller on you. He's going to bend them and break them off and put them halfway in and out and try them. And who knows, he might get lucky. So therefore, don't. Instead, you say, oh, gee, I'm sorry, I forget which one opens it. Would you find out which one opens it for me? And he's going to try all of them, maybe even 2 times. And therefore, he will be sure that none of them opens, but you aren't in danger of having your keys damaged. Okay, that's important. So then the lock stays with him for a moment, and all the keys go in. And then you add the key from your key ring. And have him try that. And he does. And it works. And the locked lock and the key go back in the glass. The reason you use a key ring is because there is one more item that is involved. It's attached to the key ring. It's this little puppy right here. It's the size of a stack of 3 dimes. And if you dial 1-800-MAGNETS, you will be put in touch with Littleton, Colorado's company called Master Magnetics. Give them your credit card number, and for $35, they'll sell you one of these. 35? Yes. It's a rare earth magnet. Whew, damn near extinct at that price. But the reason for it is this. You see, all of those keys are brass. They're plated, but they're brass. They look like steel, but they're not. They're brass. And the magnet will not attract those keys. The lock, the body of the lock, is also brass and will not be attracted by the magnet. But the shackle of the lock is steel. It will be attracted, actually, even through the thickness of a glass. It becomes an instant chop cup, doesn't it? Okay? So now what you have is, and by the way, when those keys are in there, you can put it in there. You may have to swirl it around to get the lock to come around to the portion of the glass where the shackle is directly over the magnet, but now it's hanging on. Oh, one other reason for this, you hold this in your fingers as well. Because in a second, what you're going to do is you're going to dump all of those keys into your hand. This lock is going to stay there. It might do this. Empty glasses don't do that. But if you happen to have also in your hand a keychain, okay, then if there's any noise, the keychain will mask it. There's another purpose for it. I made sure I got a keychain with a brass head on it. So later when I dump all the keys back and then I put the keychain in there, it adds a certain amount of brass color. So if someone happens to see a little brass color, they won't think anything about it. Normally they won't because they're too busy watching the lock, and I set it behind me anyway. All right? So the move then is this. He's standing up there. We patter about the locks. You reach into your pocket. You're ready to go. You say, there are 6 keys that will not open this lock. There is one that will. That's when the lock comes out. Now you do nothing but essentially a hang-ping chin move with the keys. You say, here. And you're done. You dump all the keys onto the lock that came out of your pocket. This one stays here. And don't worry about it. Oh, by the way, if you can kind of roll it a little bit like that so the lock lays against the side of the glass, far less possibility of noise. Don't even think about it. Don't even put your mind on it. All your attention is here. Okay, now you're ready to begin. And of course, after he's taken the lock, you just dump all the keys in, put the keychain in, and set it aside. Now we've got a problem. Remember, there are 6 keys which will open this lock. That 7th key will not. That's why you had better know how to spot it. That's why you chose a key which is obviously different. So as all those, I mean, I don't want him taking one right away. I need time to find that damn key. There it is, okay. I know where it is. Now let's assume, and this is the Jonah key right here. This is the one that opens the lock that's still in the glass. Won't open this lock at all. If you don't mind, would you stand here just for a moment? And this time I want you to take this key. Not yet, just wait till your cue. Okay? But I would say, make your mind a complete blank. Don't focus on the top key, the bottom key, the middle key, the inside key, the outside key. Just let your subconscious mind guide you with your left hand. Take one key. And with your right hand, take one key. This now, sir, will be your final decision. Okay? Now we're going to do equivoke. It is equivoke. It is not equivoque. It is not equivoque. The word is equivoke. Look it up in the Oxford English Dictionary. If you don't know what a word is or how to pronounce it, don't use it. Okay? Because there are people out there who do, and you will diminish in their eyes if you use the word improperly. It is equivoke. I won a lot of bets with magicians with that one. Okay? But now we're ready to equivoke him. This is the key I don't want. All right? So I would say something along these lines. Your final decision, sir, is quite simple. One of those keys, oh wait, I'd have this in my hand. One of those keys will seem to be heavy and drag your hand downward. One of them will seem to be light and raise itself up high. Hold it up nice and high where they can see you put the key in. Just get rid of that there. Thank you very much. Okay, and we're ready to go. All right, put it in there. Thank you again. I appreciate your help. Thank you. Now comes a method that is going to delight your sneaky heart, because you don't need a $35 magnet. You don't need a $6.98 crystal glass. You do need everything else. The 2 locks, the keys. Let me get this straight now. Which one opens which? Okay, that's the one that doesn't go in my pocket. Okay. All right, now, oh, what you do need is one of these. You need a doot-to-doo from McDonald's. The doot-to-doo? No. Doot-to-doo. Okay. So here's how we proceed. The one key that opens the lock is over here on the keychain. He has the keys and the lock, and he's tried, and none of them work. Whereupon you say, oh, wait a minute. Here's the one from the keychain. I'm terribly sorry. Just put all the keys in here if you would be so kind. Oh, okay, thank you. A bunch of them, aren't there? Try that key. I think you'll find that will work, which is more than I can say for my brother-in-law, which is a lovely line. Now, please withdraw the key from the lock and close the lock. May I have the lock, please? Thank you very much. Key, please. Thank you very much. Now,
Miser's dream.
You got it, miser's dream, okay? I held out the Jonah key, the one that's going to hurt me. And the way I did it was just simple as the dickens. Look, he's busy trying that final key and lock. I just give these a shake and bring one key up under my finger, just like you would for a coin for miser's dream. It's ready to go. Now, it's going to drop to the bottom of the cup when I ostensibly put the key in. But I need to train my audience first by putting the lock in so the motion seems familiar. So first goes the lock, then goes the key. Okay? That's all there is to it. It's great, and you've held it out. All right? Now, there is one thing, and I keep talking about this. I keep talking about regression. One of the reasons that mentalists don't hang around magicians much anymore is because as a mentalist you have to unlearn some of those things that work so well for you as a magician, like pulling up your sleeves before you do something. Oh, never do that as a mentalist. Okay? But if as a mentalist you want to do something, you have to train your audience. So anyway, you get it up there, and then you take this here. You might be tempted, but don't, you know. Don't do it. Now here's how you get out of that. Here's how you get out. It's very easy. He can take any one of those 6 keys. So you tell him, if you would, sir, just reach in there and take, and of course the key that you don't want goes to your pocket, and you wrap your hand around the lock. I mean, don't drop the key until you've got the lock in your hand, otherwise you might get some talking down there. And have it ready to go, and you say, reach inside and just take any one of those keys. And he does. And you'll need the lock, by the way. And you hand him the lock. Actually, what you've done is you've taken the lock inside there and put it up underneath your fingers and brought out the lock from your pocket. All right? Look what this enables you to do, okay? Because, I mean, you know, there was a lock down in there, so you reach down in there, take that lock under the fingers, hand him this one, and he puts the key in, and you say, look, you could have taken any one of these keys. See, the lock is still here. See? The noise of the lock dropping is going to be covered now. But you didn't. You took that one. See? No magnet, no fuss, no muss, nothing left but a tremendous round of applause.